Here we go. Fairy Gone. This is DrSHREEVEERA again, and let's get back to Fairy Gone. This is the episode 2 review. The link to the episode 1 review is in the description or in the top right comment box. It's safe to say that Fairy Gone has nailed the action. We were treated to another action-filled episode, but I was a little disappointed on the briefly teased backstory on Free and Marlia, which felt cruel, giving only a little snippet. This episode felt it relied a lot on its action to keep things interesting, but the intriguing pull this series has over me as my full engagement. Let's see about the plot. Maria has joined the legal organization Dorothea and now faces being enemies with her childhood friend Veronica. During a mission operation to seize an illegal deal, Free is reunited with an old comrade, and hostility is thick in the air between the pair. And these are my episode highlights. There is a little bit of tease backstory. In Fairy Gone, you are cruel for giving us a brief teaser on Free and Maria's backstory at the beginning. I was hoping the episode would reveal more, but the focus was shifted on Free. That was a little disappointing. But there was loads of action. Now there is no question already at this point that the action of Fairy Gone will steal the show every time. The battle between the fairy soldiers was enthralling, and it's just fascinating to watch the unique power of each fairy wielder. The action is not going to be a disappointment in the series, but I felt that this episode relied upon solely on it to keep things interesting. I don't want this to be a constant recurrence. It was fine for this episode, but so far we have barely scratched the surface of the plot. The original soundtrack, the action was a highlight of this episode because of the OST that went along with it. Love this aspect about this episode. Okay, come on. When can we buy the OST? Okay, let's talk about a few of the characters which were reintroduced. First, Wolfram. Briefly, last episode we had a glimpse of Free's comrade and he became a central focus for this episode. I find Wolfram similar to Ware. We don't know much about the pair at the moment or the driving reason behind their rivalry. Free mentioned how his wife and to-be daughter only agitated Wolfram. Then we see at the end Wolfram mourning as both his loved ones are dead. I just want to know what happened between him and Free. And Fairy protected? Maria is the odd one out of the other fairy soldiers because she doesn't need a transplant in order to use a fairy. During the battle, Free went over to see if Maria was alright after being injured, and her fairy blocked Free from approaching. This fairy has a will of its own, but why only this one? More questions, dude. Ending theme. The Fairy Gone has a cracking opening theme, but I find the ending theme a little bit boring, but it still gets the job done. Here's the themes and trivia. It was announced that Fairy Gone is listed for a 24 episode run, which I am happy about as the first 2 episodes have delivered much in terms of a plot core. I believe there needs to be enough of a latch on for you to be interested in a series, and it's important to remember that when it comes to original series, there is never too much to go on and you only can give it one chance, as is the case with Fairy Gone. Bothers me so much that the beginning of the episode teased part of Maria and Free's backstory. It revealed something the pair has in common already, this belief that they are unlucky and the lucky. Oh, it's all over the place. And this week's episode was alright for me. Dorothea was a legal organization, that's for sure. Still feel the first episode was good, but just the pacing was a bit fast. Thinking back to Sirius the Aegir, there was not much to go on in terms of plot in the first couple of episodes. This is how I'm feeling about Fairy Gone as well. It's only fair to give the series the same chance. I do hope we delve into Maria and Free's backstories in the next few episodes. These fairy soldiers really kick ass, guys. Free and Maria, oh, why can't I see them together? Even though we barely know them yet, shipping problems. More importantly, this was another satisfying action-filled episode. I don't think I'm going to tire of here's to hoping next episode has more backstory and main plot reveals. How do you guys like Fairy Gone is going on? I definitely love it. There are quite a lot of positives and negatives which still go on, but the CGI is growing into me. I do like this episode. I still give it a 7 out of 10. Hope you guys like my review of Fairy Gone episode 2. Do share it in your comments below of what are your thoughts about this anime, and what I should do review next. Thank you guys for watching. This is Dr. DrSHREEVEERA again signing out, and love you guys.